Quién sabe si vendrá mi mala suerte.
So, I just watched Bullet Train, and it was very entertaining. It was surprisingly good, and I say surprisingly because I had no expectations of enjoying this, but also, I didn't know anyone else who wanted to see another Brad Pitt movie. Absolutely no one. But for this one, I think you definitely should. Honestly, I have a weak spot for action movies with super cheesy elements to them. Obviously, from the cover of the movie itself, which looks like shit, you either had one or two reactions. Number one, look at this Hollywood jerkfest. Or two, holy shit, it's Joey King. Yo, is that Bad Bunny from the Royal Rumble? This is one of those movies though that had bad promotional ads that gave away most of the movie, but I haven't been watching trailers myself, and I know that plenty of people don't have time to watch these trailers, so honestly, if you haven't seen it yet, then you're probably good. You should be just fine. This movie is directed by the same director of Deadpool 2, and as you watch the movie, you can absolutely feel it. I am certain I like this movie for the same exact reason why I like Deadpool 2 and Wayne. In all of those projects, you don't need to care about what is happening or think too much about it. It is just there for you to have a good ass time, and that's what this movie brings. Bullet Train has no intentions to take itself too seriously, and you really shouldn't either. It's just there for you to turn off your brain and have whatever kind of experience you want just watching stupid shit happening on screen. Now, for those of you who like to think about the plot during the movie, I will say that it feels like unnecessary chaos. Bullet Train kind of wants to ride the coattail of everything is just a fucking mess, but it can kind of get away with it sometimes. To go ahead and get the bad out of the way, my main issues with this movie was just the pacing. In the first third of the movie, it is 99% made of exposition. While some of it can be crucial later on, there's just a handful of sequences and exposition that kind of overstay their welcome. The main character that we follow for the movie is Brad Pitt, but he is the least interesting character here and strangely the most normal. He is really just trying to make a quick paycheck and have an easy job, and he just gets caught up in all this shit, which is why, by nature, he's the one character we could probably relate to in this movie. But he also feels like he's trying to be another Deadpool. He very much brings Ryan Reynolds' energy to the role, and that works as far as the funny factor, but it just doesn't work on like a character development level. I will say that the action itself is pretty engaging. Besides the typical cliches of the shaky cam in a fight scene, the fight choreography itself was very tight, and as an audience member, it's kind of nice to see action where you can sort of feel the punches as you see them happen on screen. Bullet Train sort of feels like it's trying to be a live action of a shonen anime without any of the shonen anime elements, and it's kind of funny. Only for the fact that this movie still has very heavy elements that are Hollywood influence, but the small stuff and the tone of the movie itself feels like it doesn't want to be taken seriously, which when you mix all of that together kind of works really well. Besides Brad Pitt's character, I think as far as character work goes, everyone served their role really well, or enough. It felt like the movie sort of knew when to get rid of certain characters and when to fuck with the audience, which might have been overdone, but it didn't ruin the movie for me. Personally, I think that Aaron Taylor Johnson and Brian Tyree Henry were stealing the show for most of the movie. Their whole dynamic as Lemon and Tangerine really worked for me, and I had a lot of fun watching any of their scenes. There is an argument to be made about the quantity of cheesy jokes, and some of the scenes when you get a quick glimpse at them are absolutely predictable. And to that I say, okay, but like, who actually cares? And I know that's hypocritical coming from me because I just beat the shit out of Thor Love and Thunder for having too many jokes, but the quality of the jokes didn't really begin to decrease until the very end of the movie, and for that, I'll tolerate it for now. Yeah, as previously stated, I have a very strong weakness for these Deadpool style of jokes and writing.
I will ruin your life the way you ruin mine.
Dude, I don't even know you!
It gets quite the giggle out of me every single time, and I just can't help myself, guys. I'm sorry. I am almost completely certain that if this movie didn't have a star-packed cast for the story that it was trying to tell, it might have not done as well with audiences. But it did, and it worked, and I'm so glad that I saw this movie because I'm just so sick of seeing the same product getting spewed out and then having to review it. Overall, this is just a fun action movie, not trying to say anything too crazy and not trying trying to show its audience anything but a good ass time. It has a bit of plot holes here and there, but the movie really doesn't care, and I don't think that you should care too much about it either. This one really caught me on a good day, and I'm gonna give Bullet Train a solid 7 out of 10. Fun ass movie.